Baby Amarelo.
The Ugly Duckling.
Quack, quack.
Once upon a time, there was a mother duck sitting on her eggs in a nest by a lake. Suddenly, she began to feel something moving underneath her. Mother duck jumped up like crazy and stood beside her nest, very excited. She counted her eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that fifth egg looked a little weird. She started to hear her eggs hatching and she leaped in excitement. Crack! Out came the first duckling. It was so beautiful. Crack, crack, crack! Out came the other 3 ducklings. The 4 of them were yellow and so cute.
I love you.
They all stood there looking at the 5th egg that was taking so long to hatch. All of a sudden, crack! Out came the 5th duckling. But this poor guy was so ugly that all his siblings burst out laughing. The ugly duckling was very sad. He wasn't yellow, his feathers weren't soft, and he was much taller than his siblings. And his squawk was so funny. The next day, the 5 ducklings went to the lake for a swim with their mother. The ugly duckling couldn't understand why he was so different from everybody else. On their way to the lake, he ran into the pig and asked him, "Hi, pig, have you seen any other duckling that looks like me?" The pig burst out laughing and said,
Oink, oink.
"No,
Oink, oink.
there's no one else as ugly as you." Then he saw the cat and asked him, "Hey, cat, have you seen any other duckling that looks like me?" "No," replied the cat. "There's no one else as ugly as you." The ugly duckling kept on walking with his siblings to the lake. When they were swimming, he saw the frog. "Hello, frog. Have you seen any other duckling that looks like me?"
Ribbit,
"No,"
ribbit,
said the frog.
ribbit,
"There's no one else as ugly as you."
ribbit, ribbit.
Poor ugly duckling. He was so sad that he started to cry. He saw how all his pretty siblings swam happily together, and he thought that it would be best to get away from everyone and look for a home by himself. The ugly duckling went out one day over the hills and far away. In his home he didn't want to stay, 'cause they made fun of him every day. He walked and walked until he found a little cave where he got in to spend the night. He stayed there for many days. Summer ended and fall came. The leaves of the trees started to fall, and the weather began to get cold. One morning, the ugly duckling woke up freezing and alone, and he saw snow outside. Poor duckling! He was alone without his mother in the winter. Days went by, and the ugly duckling did not leave his cave. One morning, when he woke up, he felt the warmth again. He stepped out of the cave and saw a faraway lake that looked like a great place to go for a swim. When he got close, he saw the most beautiful bird in the world. He had never seen such a gorgeous animal in his life. She had white, shiny feathers and a beautiful long neck. She was so pretty that he fell in love with her instantly. But he knew that he was so ugly that he could never get someone like that to love him. He bowed his head down in sadness, and suddenly he saw his reflection on the lake. He was not an ugly duckling anymore. During his entire year, he had grown up and he realized he was also a beautiful swan. His egg had fallen into Mother Duck's nest by accident, and that was why he was so different from his siblings. The swan saw him, and she thought he looked very handsome and elegant. He swam towards her, and they twisted their necks around each other as a sign of love. He told her about how he missed his family a lot and asked his new mate to come with him to visit them. When they arrived to Mother Duck's and his 4 siblings, they were all very surprised. They were so happy to see his brother, so tall, handsome, and elegant, and in the company of his great love. His siblings realized they had been very cruel to the ugly duckling and apologized.
I'm sorry.
The ugly duckling, the swan, felt so happy to be part of the family again that he and his mate stayed to live there, and everyone threw them a big homecoming party. The end. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel.